Hello, my name is Yvonne Ward and I am with Absolute Advocacy. I am a licensed clinical addiction specialist as well as a certified clinical supervisor with over 25 years of experience in the field of mental health and substance use counseling. And today what I'd like to do is spend some time talking with you about how you get registered with the North Carolina Substance Abuse Professional Practice Board if you are looking at becoming either a licensed clinical addiction specialist or a certified substance abuse counselor. This information in this video will give you some valuable information that you can use to register with the board. So first I'll start with what I have here is, again, it's the North Carolina Substance Abuse Professional Practice Board, and their website is at www.northcarolina, so NCSAPPB.org. So what you will need to do first of all is take a look at their website. It has tons of valuable information as it relates to all of the different certifications that you can obtain. Everything on their website has gone electronic, so there is what is called a learner builder, and you will need to access that learner builder website and set up a username and password, creating a profile for yourself. Once you create a profile for yourself and once you've had an opportunity to take a look at the certification website, you can take a look at the different criteria for each of the certifications or licensures, and it will give you information as to which one you can choose based on your educational background and your experience. The first thing you will need to do is to register with the Substance Abuse Certification Board. You will need to have access to the internet and a computer. You will also need to have access to any educations and trainings that you currently have. You need to be familiar with how to scan and upload documents onto their website. And you will also need to have access to a credit card or debit card, as there is a $25 fee that you will need to pay as a part of your registration. So once you set up your learner profile on their website, then you can choose which certification best meets your needs, and they will ask you for some basic demographic information as it relates to your education, and you'll create that profile. And then once you've created your profile, it will give you an option to submit all of your information and make a payment, and then that way you'll actually be in their system. Once you've registered with the board, they will give you 5 years to complete the entire licensure or certification process, and as a part of that process, what you will need to do is you will need to act as a clinical supervisor. That individual needs to be a licensed clinical addiction specialist that is fully licensed, or a certified clinical supervisor that is fully licensed. So as part of that process, one of the forms that you will find on their website will ask you to locate a supervisor and get that individual to agree to provide you with supervision. Here at Absolute Advocacy, we have several licensed clinical addiction specialists as well as several certified clinical supervisors that are available to provide you with that supervision on an ongoing basis. So once you're registered and you've chosen a clinical supervisor, you'll see on the form that will ask you to fill out who the supervisor is. You can get that information from us. It will also ask us for our licensure number. And then what it will do is it will send the supervisor an email, and they will have to agree to provide you with the supervision. There's a link that we actually have to click on, which then verifies to the board that we've agreed to do supervision for you. So that's all part of the registration process. Once you've completed that process, what will happen next is that you will be required to complete 300 practicum hours, and those practicum hours can be paid practicum hours where you're working with an agency that does substance use work, or it can be on a volunteer basis. So you're going to be actually working in the field, learning the 12 core functions and learning about the ethical guidelines and responsibilities that you will be responsible for as a substance use clinician. And that will be the first 300 hours that you will need to complete in order to start your road to being fully licensed as a certified clinical supervisor or as a certified substance abuse counselor. Those individuals who are certified clinical supervisors typically already have a LCAS and are fully licensed as a LCAS. So they would be certified clinical supervisor interns, and we can actually provide supervision for those individuals as well as they work on full certification or full licensure. One of the other things that I'd also like to mention to you is that as a part of the registration process, you will be required to fill out documentation for a background check through the SBI. And there are forms on the website that it will ask you to fill out, and there is a $38 fee for that as well. So you want to make sure that you complete all of those forms in a timely fashion, otherwise it will hold up your registration. So that is really important. Then once you have completed the registration process and the supervision forms, then you can begin working on not only your practicum hours, but once you've completed your practicum hours, you will be required to complete additional hours. There are 400 hours of actual practice work that will be required for the licensed clinical addiction specialist, and there are 6,000 hours that will be required for the certified substance abuse counselor. And for each of those licensures or credentials, you are required to have supervision on an ongoing basis depending on which certification or licensure you're applying for. And again, here at Absolute Advocacy, we can provide you with that ongoing supervision for those individuals who would like to work towards full licensure. Once you are in that process where you have the 5 years to be fully certified or licensed, you will be required to do ongoing education and training. And some of those education and training hours you can receive with Absolute Advocacy. And there are other places within the community where you can also receive additional continuing education hours that will be a part of your long-term process for obtaining full licensure. Again, you can find information related to all of the certification website process at absoluteadvocacy.org. And again, my name is Yvonne Ward, and thank you for joining us for this webinar.